We're going to go ahead and do a reading specifically for twin flames, for the divine feminine, for the divine masculine. And we have a lot of Gemini alignments, obviously, because we're in Gemini season. But we have Mercury in Gemini, which is sextile Mars and Leo. And this is bringing a huge clearing for the masculine side of things. You guys might be feeling these energies in your solar plexus. And a lot of upgrades are still happening. We also have the same alignment, which is square the lunar nodes. And when we deal with the lunar nodes, this always deals with everything regarding your karmic fate, destiny, where you're headed, and this includes destined partnerships such as twin flames. So we're going to talk about these themes today as we do just a general reading. I always remind you guys that this is just a general collective reading. This is why I encourage you to do the one-on-one phone call sessions with me as often as you need them. I'm going to help you to heal whatever's coming up for you. I love to help you heal certain things, especially your love life. So let's go ahead and start with the reading for the divine feminine side of things, just to see where you're at. It's been a couple days since I've done videos anyways. Let's tap in and see what is going on for you. I am an energy healer. I have a ton of healings, clearings, and activations on my website. So if you're needing me, you just go ahead and book me on sparksofdivinelighthealing.com. I do twin flame coaching, which is great for helping you through the process too. So let's see what is going on and what's coming up for you. I have lots of stuff on my website. You can always do anything in my shop anyways. I have lots of 6/6 stuff. We're doing that next. Like, I'm always riding these waves. Amazing energies coming in for that, okay? Now, last night, we've had a lot of solar and galactic activity the past couple of days. I was telling my own twin flame that we had a big push above us. Like, we have a lot of things happening with the energies of the planet. A lot of people are noticing. They're just kind of, doing matrix life as usual. But we have a lot of cosmic, different ascension energies, I call them, that are coming into the planet that are having a huge impact. And one of the CMEs that came in last night, we'll say yesterday, did a big clearing of the energies, because there's a lot of, I call it radiation. There's a lot of radiation above us. So it did a huge clearing out of all of that. We could perceive it as negative kind of energy and things like that. So you're probably going to be feeling a lot better. If you've been feeling the energies a little bit intensely or strongly the past couple of days, you're going to start to feel a lot better. Now, we're in a huge space for integration in today's energies. And whenever we deal with any of that lunar node energy, it's always activating things in a good way, especially for twin flames too. So we have a lot of positive energy, destiny in the air, all of my favorite themes. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with this reading for the divine feminine side of things. Divine feminine collective, divine masculine, if you're watching, direct messages from your divine feminine. I realize all the mistakes I've made, especially with today's energy. We're realizing the impact that our thoughts are having on our reality, but also on our entire situation. Now, sometimes it's not always in our conscious mind, it's subconscious. And we're having a reveal happening. We're being made aware of some of our conscious patterns so that we can break out of them. And that's all of this work, what it's based around, is literally changing yourself and breaking out of patterns and behaviors that have been limiting you or holding you back or affecting you, and you're getting more awareness of what you're working on, especially if you're in or on the twin flame journey. This is helping you to see yourself more and what you're needing to heal. Okay, so we have a huge focus, divine feminine side, of healing anything that you feel you lack, because you don't, but sometimes we may feel that within ourselves. And it's very easy to turn to our connections or things outside of ourselves to make us feel better, or to heal some of these old wounds, or to fill some of these areas that we may feel lack or not good enough. These kind of, I'll call them wounds. These kind of areas are being highlighted so that we can heal them and better fill our own cup and our own needs of what we need. Okay, I ran because I wasn't ready for you. Some of you guys, if you'll say you're dealing with the masculine runner. Generally, I find, I don't want to say this, but this is a reading for divine feminine. You may have kicked some of this stuff off. They may have been mirroring your own patterns back to you. They may have been mirroring things you were thinking about. You may have done things to sabotage the connection yourself or pushed away this person. Many different reasons for why this happens. The biggest reason that I see with a lot of people, because I work with a lot of people trying to navigate these type of connections, is focusing too much of your own energy on this person, like too much of it, whether you're thinking about them all the time, obsessive energy, focusing on them all of the time. And we don't realize that everything has energy behind it. And so all of our connections have a lot to do with energy and how we're wired up or how we interact with people. And so this can be easy to do with these type of connections. But oftentimes I feel people go through stages of separation to clear karma, to work on themselves, and to release attachments and things like that. Now, really, twin flame is about two people working on themselves, just as any other type of connection is, but it tends to be more intense with the mirroring effect and how you may see this person, yourself, or even the connection. So it may bring up more to be healed faster oftentimes so that you can come into this harmonious union. Now, everyone's situation is different, but both of you are clearing blocks that have been in the way, whether in separation, keeping you apart, have led to separation, or you're in union and you continue to do the work and do the work on yourself to release patterns and to heal things. And so there's different things coming up for different people. However, with that, I call it the lunar node energy, with some of that lunar node energy, we have and of course with the Gemini, of course. Now Gemini is always signed to the twin flame. So we have a lot of, right now, solar plexus blocks coming to the surface for clearing. And we have a lot of throat chakra communication blocks. And this could be for whatever, okay? So if these things have been playing a role in separation or hindering your union, these type of themes are coming to the surface right now. I'm sorry I hurt you. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone. Earth elemental, I gratefully accept the abundance the earth bestows on me. So we keep on talking about today healing any areas of lack. This doesn't have to be financially, obviously. I wasn't talking at all like in that realm. Like this could be, feeling you don't have things and you might see other people. It could be, you always wanted something and you feel your life went a little different, and accepting that. And there could be many areas for this, areas you struggle. And this could translate to many different areas of your life. So I do feel that some of these themes are kind of coming up for you during this time to heal any perceived areas of lack. We live in a society that loves to bring that out of us. Like, I'm not going to go there, but we trigger that within us intentionally. And so, the most powerful thing that we can do is to heal ourselves so that we can maybe detach a little bit from that matrix way of life and to really follow our soul, because we probably realize at a certain point we refer to the 3D as the matrix and the 5D as, for those souls that have found their way to the 5D, is really, really honoring your spiritual self, your soul, and embodying your higher self and doing the ascension work, as I call it. So I do a lot of posts for both twin flames and ascension, and they're the same. Like a lot of people are like, right? They're literally the same work. But I do see, if you're on the twin flame journey, that your twin flame may have triggered some of that work to come up very fast. And that is part of the cleansing and clearing work that twin flames must go through. And so it's a lot of, when you're on the journey, clearing energy too of whatever comes up. That's going to be different each soul as to what lessons you've had in this life, what you're learning, what you're integrating. And we talked about today being a huge space for, there's something that you need to integrate karmically that we could just say you either haven't or you need to better integrate. And if we see repeating karmic lessons, we're in familiar. I help so many people and they're in the same situation, they tell me, but they're unable to get out of it. They're continuing to engage. And this is the nature of karma. So until we learn certain lessons to figure things out for ourselves, we may have circumstances that are very karmic in nature, especially around our love life and stuff like that. And so oftentimes we think, I always say, like, twin flame's going to come along and, save us from doing any of the work, but it's the opposite, that they may even continue to play out your template. They may, trigger old wounds. They may replay familiar patterns with you to get your attention, and everyone is different as to what you're working through, but we do have this karmic energy coming to the surface, and we also have the Justice card. So this is like avoiding looking at something in your life that is very important to your love life or your twin flame situation. And this is also being in the victim mentality of it too, and not taking accountability for whatever circumstances of your life you're in, because you've always created these, whether you're aware of that or unaware of that, you have. And so it's shifting out of this 3D mindset, which is the 3D mentality, right? Of like, you know, and shifting into that 5D space of empowerment. If you need to make changes, you should. If you're wanting to manifest better, you can. Today is a huge manifestation porthole too. So you're being reminded with the solar plexus to tap into your power and your strength. And then everything that blocks that is, you know, unhealed wounds, inner child, past relationship wounds, low self-esteem, you know, feeling vulnerable, letting fear and anxiety get in the way, and feeling not good enough. So we have these themes coming up for the divine feminine around solar plexuses. Some of this is from past previous connections on the divine feminine side. You'll find a lot of the work. Oftentimes it just depends on what. And so this is clearing energy blockages, especially around the solar plexus chakra system or even other areas. So, and real quick, I'm going to go back to that message. I'm like that when I get more downloads. Okay, so we see that oftentimes we talked about twin flames having a lot of energy come to the surface, especially when it's not going great. There's two areas, well, there's many areas you work through, but two of the areas I want to talk about today. We're talking about the solar plexus, this is energy, and we're talking about the mind. And so what happens is things aren't going your way. The ego starts to spin. All of these negative beliefs come up. They don't want me, blah, blah, blah. Go into it. Not to make light of it, okay? It's all the negative beliefs, and this is why that work must be done. You can't keep holding on to this stuff. So oftentimes intentionally the universe may use this person to trigger certain things, so you have certain things come up. So that's the thoughts. You notice that easy. It's racing thoughts, right? It's like, oh my God, it's literally the spins, and hopefully not all the time, but you're gonna have your moments on the journey. And then there's the energy of it. And if you've ever gone through, welcome to your life on earth, because I feel it's a nonstop energy purge. If you've ever gone through an energy purge, this is where energy comes up. Intense overwhelm emotions, a lot of them. You could feel I call it the spins. You'll know when you're going through a purge. So we go through a lot of energy purges in life in general, but also on the twin flame journey. And when you go through these energy purges, you see that you were actually holding on to all of this, you didn't know it, energy buried within you, usually from your past that you haven't healed, usually from your childhood and other places you've repressed and suppressed this energy, and you've held on to it, energy you've picked up, all of it. So you're holding on to a lot of density, we call it, and this is like the 3D layers that from your old life. And so oftentimes your twin flame will probably trigger you unknowingly, and a lot of emotions are going to come up. So you see you have a lot of stuck energy and energies that you're holding on to, and this is why it's so beneficial to clear your energy and to clear out some of that old density, because you'll feel a lot better than having it kind of kicked up because it's there. So I just want to point out that oftentimes that energy is there, and that energy is coming from your solar plexus of where it is stored generally. Okay, so we have Earth Angel. I'm a guardian of Mother Earth and protector of all who live here. So really activating your template and stepping into your higher version of self, that Earth Angel kind of energy too. You're being guided to awaken. Twin flames hold that higher galactic and angelic template. And so oftentimes you come together on your ascension journey when you're ready to embody that or step into that template. Now, I was saying yesterday to someone, everyone has an ascension template, everyone has a twin flame template, but most people, they don't activate it. And that's okay. Many people might spend many lifetimes asleep and not awakening as well too, but it is there, it is in your blueprint, it is in your template. So you have that capability at all times to step into that and even really shift into these higher timelines. Wheel of life, I'm guided by the cycles of life and live in complete harmony with them. Okay, so we have gifts and blessings, and I love this. And you're being guided to really activate your abilities. You have so much dormant DNA. I've been spending a lot of time posting about a lot of this stuff. If you guys didn't notice, if you're following my page, if not, make sure you hit the follow button. So I've been posting this because these energies are powerful for doing activation work. I do a ton of DNA activation work. I do a ton of activation work. If you're looking to activate and tap into your gifts more, activations on my website will really, really help you. I have tons of healing activations and things like that. So you're being guided to tap into your gifts more and to get mastery over them. And then we have 2 cards left for the Divine Feminine, so I'm not going to do a very long reading today, but this is really working with the angels. Like if you're having a hard time, you're struggling. In fact, twin flames oftentimes choose to separate because you're having to go to the spiritual, right? Whether you're connecting on the 5D with them, you're getting messages that way, or you're just really elevating your spiritual connection, because as you're unclogging and unblocking and releasing and letting go of these layers, many layers of negativity and negative energy, you're rising up your frequency and you're connecting better. You're opening up your spiritual connection, because all those energies are everything that's been blocking you in life, your spiritual connection, your gifts, whatever it is. And so you're opening up this spiritual connection. You're being guided to really work with your angels. If you have stress, problems, things coming up, make sure that you're turning it over to the angels. Make sure you're really working with your angels and asking them for help in your specific situation. So we have angels of abundance. Maybe some of you guys have been struggling or stressed about finances. Are we all just going to ignore that everything is costing like 5 times more at the shop, right? Yeah, we are. We just ignore everything on planet Earth, right? Okay, jokes aside, that means that we're having more to keep up with in our time, and it can be a little bit more stressful maybe than previous generations. Just kind of depends. And so then you're needing to be able to manifest more, right? And so this is giving us that little nudge or push that we need. So this could be my favorite, getting your finances in order, doing a lot of that lately, right? Trying to keep your finances in check, get them in order. This could be, I always help you guys a ton. Like I help you with patching up energy leaks, and sometimes those are money leaks too. So it could be how you're spending money or leaking money in unnecessary ways. Or it could just be, maybe some of you guys are needing to manifest more money. I've been taught a lot about integrating in 5D, about using our spiritual gifts in a way where we can get creative and do what we love, and that mission work or whatever it is, or just flow better at your job, or to do better through really tapping into what we're learning about manifestation and applying it to all areas of our life. We're talking about applying it to your love life, but also your finances too. And so our finances are always a reflection of our energy and how we feel about ourselves and where we're at with our energy too. So when you really take care of your energy better, you're going to notice that you start to attract a lot more abundance. So we have solar plexus, we talked about, third eye coming up for the Divine Feminine, and the sacral. So this is why I do this work, to clean my energy up. And some people do, some people don't. But those people with messy, leaky energy, exactly like it sounds, that's your energy that you have to create anything that you need in your life. If you're being siphoned and have tons of karmic connections and cords and multiple people, partners, whatever it is, all your exes around, I talk about, you haven't done the work, you're going to be getting drained. And just like it sounds, we get sick. We run out of our vitality, or we lose our vitality. We could, when we're not doing the work, we age faster. We're not in as great a health. We do this work, it will transform your entire life. That's how I ever got on videos to share this stuff. It will change your life. It will transform your energy. So we want to do whatever ascension work is required to clean our energy up. This means releasing previous connections, especially with lovers and old partners, and letting go of things that no longer resonate, things we know are bad for us, toxic behaviors, addictions, all of it must go. And as you're doing this ascension work, you're going to notice that you are healing, your frequency is going up, and you're attracting more abundance too. So I notice when people are in the wrong type of connections, really, really bad for your energy, but also your finances, if you didn't notice, right? Things can get karmic, I call it, and we don't want that. So this is healing your energy, healing your relationships, and healing your finances kind of energy coming up for the Divine Feminine. This should be a focus, getting that glow up on the energy level, and then having your life level up, and then reflect that work that you're doing too as you're doing the energy work. This next level is frequency work, working on your frequency. Okay, we're gonna do a reading for the divine masculine side of things just to see where we're at. They'll never compare to you. Sometimes they know that. It just kind of depends that they can't get that feeling with anyone else. I should have fought for you. I sabotaged our connection because it was too intense. Sometimes these sabotaging patterns come up on the subconscious level. I don't even know if people understand their own psychology or what they're doing, but they should at a certain age, right? Especially if there's hurtful behavior that is affecting you. I know a lot of people are like, oh, okay. If it is affecting you, pay attention, right? Take note. This could be like red flag energy, but sometimes people are in connection to work through their patterns, by the way. So they tend to come out the most in personal relationships. And this maybe is giving this person insight to see their own sabotaging behaviors, which are usually out of fear and ego, okay? So for this divine masculine, they might be healing some type of ego got triggered wounds. This relationship challenged them to change how they're living or raise their life or take a deeper look at themselves and introspect, or even relationship fears can be triggered to the surface. And sometimes these are hidden and repressed and we're not aware of them, but maybe this connection is giving this divine masculine a lot of insight so they can look at themselves on a deeper level. Some people, okay, they're okay with that. Some people, they do not like it when their own behavior is being pointed out or mirrored back, most importantly with the twin flame dynamic. So we have this abundant stuff coming up for the divine masculine side of things too. I'm grateful for the abundance nature the universe provides for me too. And so this is a little bit of like appreciating what you have. You have everything that you need kind of energy, and working with what you have and appreciating more of what you have to the divine masculines. Movement and meditation. I celebrate and honor my physical body through dance and movement. So these energies, I always think you feel really yucky if you just lay in bed every day. Like, right? You would. So actually we need to be kind of moving around. I see a lot more people going to work out, getting active. It doesn't have to be the gym. It could just be going for a walk, getting out into nature, moving your body. You're going to feel a lot better, whether it's grounding with nature or just moving around and exercising and, taking care of your physical body. This will make you feel a lot better too. So if you're ever feeling ascension symptoms, yucky, stagnant, not depressed, whatever it is, get up and move around. You're going to feel so much better to flow. We need to learn how to flow in these energies. So we have the sun goddess. I celebrate each sunrise and recognize the healing energies of the sun. We have a lot of solar and galactic energies. I was kind of posting about them this morning, and that energy is powerful for the upgrades that are coming in. Now, we have a lot of energy right now focused on the divine masculine side of things. You are letting go of templates around, control and unbalance and things like that. That is going to be very healing for your twin flame dynamic. These could be ego-based programs or, whatever it is. We have a huge upgrade happening to the masculine template, which both of you hold within yourselves. That's another conversation. So a big upgrade happening to your solar plexus. You might be connecting with that fire energy, which is kind of moving through your body. I know a lot of masculines are talking about Kundalini awakening, and when you have a Kundalini activation and awakening, there's a detox that happens, purification. I've seen a lot of people dealing with ascension symptoms this shift or whatever. That's a cleansing that's happening. And you might notice since your twin flame came into your life, divine masculine, that you've been letting go of a lot within yourself energetically too. So some of you guys might be feeling it this shift in your solar plexus or your stomach chakra. Your body is literally cleansing itself. And if so, if you're feeling ascension symptoms, know that you're leveling up too. It doesn't always feel good. Like we're going through these waves and they are affecting you on the physical and on the energy level. This is why it's important that you're taking care of your solar plexus too. Make sure you're eating better foods and really taking care of your physical body, because there's a lot of upgrades happening. So we have the angel of alchemy. So we have a huge transformation where you're meant to have these shadow aspects that are most likely triggered by your twin flame, and then you're supposed to let go of them and transmute them. And it's always your lower versus higher self. You might notice old versions are trying to pull you back to old habits, or as you're going into your path and becoming this new higher self version of yourself. It's not an overnight process. And so this could be shadow aspects that are triggered, or ego aspects of needing to heal these things and transmute them that are coming up. Make sure you're just going with the flow and flowing with it. We have the Three of Swords, one of my favorites. So this is noise, old wounds. This is like all the ways you've been hurt, stabbed in the heart. But it's third party energy. This isn't for everyone, but I see a lot of people that are in these situations. I'll probably just say it, I don't like to, but a lot of you guys might be in third party situations, which is not fair to anyone, and they're not progressing because of this. So there might be some type of karmic situation. This could be karmic contracts, how they're laid out, cord situations. It just kind of depends on the situation. Be mindful of this. If this is something affecting you, but it doesn't have to be that. It could just be like literally past heartbreak and things that you've been through that are keeping you a little bit closed off, or adding distance to the connection, or just previous hearts that this connection is triggering. So it could be familiar and re-triggering old triggers, old wounds. Anything not healed is going to have to come to the surface, especially around love and blocks around love. So something in this connection is bringing up some type of blocks in your love life, okay? Maybe it's stuck and unable to move forward because of karmic cords in the way, or you think it is, but they're, okay, so if you have, I hate to say this, you and your twin flame, but there's another person in the middle, that person's a siphoner, not trying to be, a lot of times they don't even know, but they're actually tapping into that twin flame energy between both of you. And it really, really affects both of you, okay? Maybe you don't notice, but it affects the other person too. So this is like karmic cords that are tapping into and siphoning the twin flame energy, or keeping twin flames apart. This could be because one or both hasn't done that work to clear their energy up, because it's like a big clear your energy up kind of vibe. It could be old wounds and old cords that are still there. Like you think that you know, got rid of everything from your past, but there's still something that needs to be resolved karmically, or some type of imprint cord. It just depends on what it is. You're healing current love blocks and wounds and previous ones that are really, really going to help you to open this situation up, okay? So there's some type of also, and this is my card, we have the Page of Swords. There's some type of delay happening. Like you might feel the process has been going a little bit slower than you think. Well, and so you're working your process. I call it the twin flame journey. You're working the process and having faith. If you're not together, you will come together, or in this connection too, that you're really being divinely supported in a way that you've never experienced in any of your connections except in the twin flame journey, in such a powerful way too. So this may require that you need to trust the journey and whatever the universe is putting you through, or whatever you're going through. So we have this Seven of Swords energy. And this is kind of like leaving energy. I always say it's like sneaking off energy, not always, right? But it's like some of you guys may have backed up, you're not showing up fully, or you just haven't pulled up. I'm going to get a little clarification on that card too. So you have the Two of Pentacles. You're trying to balance a lot, okay? You might feel like you're having a lot of ups and downs because of the awakening and the ascension energetically. Welcome to the Schumann resonance. Welcome. And the solars and the galactics. Maybe just trying to navigate ascension, but it could be also life, money, and your resources, and you have a lot coming up. I felt that this solar storm, it was like, it brought up so much so fast, but you notice you're going through a lot very fast. You are handling your business, you're doing it faster, you're doing an amazing job in a way you couldn't have done that 10 years ago. So you are juggling a lot. It might be this connection in your everyday life. Like it might be you, yourself, and you're like trying to balance this union in this other person. But oftentimes this is also connected with the money energy too. And you might feel like you're just barely getting by, or you got a lot coming up, or you're struggling, or, you know, you've always been resourceful, but you'd like more. It just kind of depends on that pentacle energy, how that works out for you. All right, I'm going to go. And then now, always encouraging you to do those twin flame readings and coaching if you need it. I'm always here for that, for those one-on-one calls and sessions. Have a lot of great healings up for today, and also a bunch for the 6/6. Check out what's in my site. Don't miss the stuff in my shop. It's really, really good for the 6/6. And have a beautiful day. If you need me, just go ahead and book me on my website, sparksofdivinelighealing.com.